Welcome back to RetroWheelsVault, where horsepower never dies. Today we're diving into the chrome-clad fantastic legend, the 1959 Chevrolet Impala. It's got wings, curves, and more attitude than a jukebox in a fistfight. Buckle up, because modern cars forgot what muscle means, and we're bringing the thunder back in style. Here's a juicy little nugget from the golden age of tail fins and thunderous V8s. 1959 was the first year the Chevrolet Impala stepped out of the Bel Air shadow and started onto the scene as its own model line. That's right, no more playing backup vocals to the Bel Air's lead act. The Impala grabbed the mic, kicked open the doors, and said, "I'm the star now." Before 59, the Impala was just a fancy trim level, kind of like being the deluxe combo meal on someone else's menu. But when the new model year rolled around, Chevy gave the Impala its own spotlight, its own lineup, and a full-blown marketing campaign that basically said, look at this beauty and try not to fall in love with it. With options like the convertible, two-door sport coupe, four-door sedan, hardtop, and even a station wagon, the Impala wasn't just stepping out, it was showing up in full chrome regalia. Bigger, flashier, and with more attitude than ever, it carved out a place in the Chevrolet family that would become legendary. So, if you're wondering when the Impala stopped being just a trim and becoming a full-blown icon, 1959 was the year it came into its own. The 1959 Chevrolet Impala didn't just evolve, it got a complete makeover that screamed, "I'm not here to blend in, I'm here to take over the boulevard." As part of GM's penny-pinching master plan, Chevy's designers were told to share body shells with the lower-end Buicks, Oldsmobiles, and Pontiacs. Basically, it was the corporate version of carpooling, except somehow the Impala still managed to show up looking like the coolest cat in the lot. Underneath, the brand new X-frame chassis gave the car a lower stance and wider body, kind of like it had just hit the gym and stretched out for summer. The wheelbase crept up slightly and the curb weight tagged along because, let's face it, big style comes with a few extra pounds. These iconic tail fins flattened and flared outward like they were trying to catch a breeze in Miami. The teardrop taillights looked like they were about to cry tears of joy every time you hit the gas. Up front, two slim fake air scoops lounged above the grille, more of a flare than function, like sunglasses at night. And now, with its own series lineup, including hardtops, sedans, convertibles, and even a station wagon, the Impala wasn't just a car. It was a full-blown fashion statement on four wheels. Under the mile-long hood, the 1959 Chevy Impala packed enough engine options to suit every kind of driver, from the Sunday cruiser to the stoplight dragstrip dreamer. Standard was a 235 cubic inch Blue Flame inline 6, which, let's be honest, wasn't exactly setting the asphalt on fire. It was more like sipping tea on the front porch. Reliable, smooth, but not exactly thrilling. Step it up and you got the 283 Turbofire V8, pushing out a respectable 185 horsepower. Not bad for the daily driver, kind of like swapping the porch tea for a solid cup of diner coffee. But if you really want to burn rubber and announce your presence from blocks away, Chevy had you covered. Optional on the menu, a 283 Turbo Thrust V8, tuned to 290 horsepower, giving your right foot something to actually write home about. And then there was the big boy, the 348 cubic inch V8, with variants cranking up to 335 ponies. That engine didn't purr. It growled, snarled, and made your rear tires consider retirement. Whether you were cruising slow and low or looking to smoke the competition, the Impala's engine lineup had just the right flavor of firepower for your kind of fun. The 1959 Chevrolet Impala didn't just give you engine choices, it gave you the power to decide how you wanted to lay that power down. Think of it like a dance partner. Whether you preferred a smooth waltz or a wild jitterbug, Chevy had the right rhythm for your ride. For the purists, there was the good old 3-speed manual, perfect for those who like to feel every shift like a firm handshake. Want a little more control? Step up to the 4-speed manual, ideal for drivers who treated gear changes like a fine art. And if you were all about saving fuel on long highway cruises, the rare 3-speed with overdrive was like having cruise control before it was cool. On the automatic side, things got interesting. The 2-speed Power Glide was as smooth as melted butter on a summer biscuit, easygoing and reliable. But if you wanted to get fancy, Chevy offered the 3-speed Turbo Glide, a more complex transmission that promised seamless acceleration, like an elevator with attitude. Whether you were shifting your own gears or letting the car do the thinking, the 59 Impala gave you options, because when you're piloting this much style, it's only fair to choose your own flavor of cruise. The 1959 Chevrolet Impala wasn't just about looking good. It had the bones to back it up. Underneath all that chrome and charisma was a brand new X-frame chassis, a bold move that ditched the traditional perimeter frame like last year's fashion. This new design let Chevy lower the roofline, stretch the body wider, and add a touch more length to the wheelbase. Think of it as the automotive version of hitting the gym and standing taller in a custom-tailored suit. Sure, it gained a few pounds in the process, but when you're rolling with this much presence, a little extra mass just adds to the muscle. And don't worry, Chevy didn't forget the ride quality. Up front, it featured independent suspension, giving the Impala handling that felt less like steering a boat and more like gliding a cruise ship. Out back, coil springs replaced the old-school leaf springs, making for a softer, more controlled ride, like bouncing on a firm mattress instead of a rusty trampoline. Whether you were cornering through town or floating down the highway, the Impala suspension setup soaked up bumps and kept that big body composed. It was comfort with a side of swagger. Step inside the 1959 Chevrolet Impala and you're greeted by a cabin that's equal parts luxury lounge and spaceship command center, at least by late 50s standards. Standard features included front and rear armrests, perfect for resting your elbows while flexing on lesser sedans, plus an electric clock to remind you how fashionably late you were arriving. Dual sliding sun visors kept the glare out of your eyes, and those nifty crank-operated front vent windows, think of them as the original air conditioning. Manual, yes, but surprisingly effective. The dash looked like it belonged in a vintage sci-fi flick, with a contoured hooded instrument panel that housed deep-set gauges tucked away like secrets, waiting to be revealed. It was functional with a flourish, wrapped in chrome and optimism. Optional goodies brought even more swagger. The new 6-way power seat let you dial in your perfect cruising position with more adjustability than your grandma's lazy boy. And the futuristic speedminder let you set a needle at your preferred speed limit. Go over it, and the car would buzz you like a school principal catching you sneaking out early. For 1959, the Impala didn't just pamper you. It politely insisted you enjoy the ride in style. When it came to putting power to the pavement, the 1959 Chevy Impala came standard with an open differential. Great for cruising, but not exactly the king of traction when things got slippery. It was like taking a date to the dance who could two-step fine on smooth floors, but got clumsy when things got wild. Luckily, Chevy offered positive traction as an option, which gave both rear wheels a better grip on reality. If you wanted to light up the pavement with twin stripes instead of just one, positive traction was your best friend in smoky situations. Now, for the tech-savvy crew, there was a bittersweet goodbye. Fuel injection had officially left the party for full-size Chevys at the time. That's right, Chevy packed it up like the cool kid who graduated early. But fear not, because something else arrived to make up for it. Cruise control. Finally, a feature that let you stretch your legs and give your foot a break while gliding down those endless 50s highways. Think of it as your own personal chauffeur with a mechanical foot. So while not every cutting feature made the cut in 59, the Impala still brought a blend of power, comfort, and innovation that kept it riding high and riding smooth. If you ever wonder what happens when you mix a battleship with a jukebox, just take a look at the 1959 Chevrolet Impala's dimensions. Measuring at a whopping 210.9 inches long, this car didn't just pull into parking lots, it conquered them. And nearly 80 inches wide, the Impala needed its own zip code just to stretch out. And yet with a height of only 54.5 inches, it sat low and sleek, like it was ready to pounce, or at least make a dramatic entrance at the local diner. The 119-inch wheelbase gave it the kind of smooth ride usually reserved for luxury yachts, and the curb weight between 3,570 and 3,670 pounds. This wasn't exactly your featherweight fighter. It's more like a heavyweight champ in a tailored tuxedo. Big, bold, and unbothered by your tiny modern coupe. Driving an Impala back in 59 wasn't just transportation, it was a statement. You weren't commuting, you were cruising. You weren't parking, you were docking. It was wide, it was low, and it owned the road with the presence of a chrome-plated parade float. And honestly, that's exactly how it should have been. The 1959 Chevrolet Impala had strengths that hit like a right hook in a tuxedo. Powerful, stylish, and smooth enough to charm your grandma. First off, styling was off the charts. With those iconic bat-wing tail fins, teardrop taillights, and wraparound glass, this car didn't just turn heads. It made people do double takes and walk into lampposts. Inside, the comfort was top-notch for the time, with plush sheets, cool gadgets like the Speedminder, and enough chrome to blind a magpie. And let's not forget the wide range of engine options. from calm and collected to tire-shredding brute force. But it wasn't perfect. For starters, its sheer size made tight turns feel like navigating a barge through a back alley. Parallel parking? Hope you packed a lunch. The X-frame chassis, while innovative, lacked side impact protection. Great for style, not so much in a T-bone situation. Fuel economy? Let's just say this car liked to drink, and it never went cheap on the octane. So yeah, the 59 Impala had its quirks, but it didn't care. It was a bold statement in metal and muscle, a car that said, subtlety is for sedans. Strengths and weaknesses alike, it wore them all with unmistakable swagger. And that wraps up our ride through the wild, wonderful world of the 1959 Chevrolet Impala. A car so bold, it made tail fins fashionable and teardrop taillights look tough. From its X-frame swagger to its thunderous V8 options, the 59 Impala didn't just roll off the line. It made an entrance, like a rock star in a suit made of chrome and dreams. This wasn't just another full-size car. It was Chevrolet showing off, flexing its design muscles and saying, yeah, we can make a car look like a rocket ship and still pack it with style and power. It was daring, different, and destined to become a legend. Now we want to hear from you. What's your favorite version of the 1959 Impala? The bubble top coupe? The convertible? That slick four-door hardtop? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get the car talk rolling. If you had a blast cruising with us today, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another deep dive into classic American steel. Thanks for watching Retro Wheels Vault, where horsepower never dies. Until next time, keep it loud, keep it classic.